last things we did before the pandemic. Little did we know this was going to be one of the very last things we did before the pandemic. Because I was traveling all over the place. And I came here and did this, and then, well, that was about it. I mean, I think there were a couple more things, but not many. And all of a sudden, we were doing everything virtual. Oh, I think we've heard that before. And all of a sudden, we were trying to figure out how to do this shift where we've been holding this one glass and doing things with each other. Now we had to have different people all of a sudden. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to sort of go over some things and sort of see what you think. Now, I'm going to have you work at your table because I'm going to be asking some questions. All right, here we go. So, quiz time. Not what you were hoping for, I bet. Now, yeah, that often is, but remember that glass that you didn't know what to do? Well, if you don't know what to do, it's not a good time to run a quiz, but unfortunately, that's sort of what happens in the world of dementia. You think you're going to figure all this out. Someone's going to tell you that stuff that you need to know, but all of a sudden you're in the middle of holding the glass and you realize nobody is still helping me out here. I still don't know what I'm supposed to do. When she looks at me and goes, well, I just took a shower. What are you talking about? I mean, no, you didn't. Yeah, I did. And without meaning to, you start to argue with somebody about whether they did something or didn't. And the challenge is that for years and years and years, they took showers. Now we're asking their brain to remember specifically, did you take a shower today? Did you take a shower this week? Did you take a shower this month? Or has it been months since you actually took a shower? Who would you like to be the one to have dementia in your partnership? How many of you are thinking, well, neither, actually. I prefer not to have dementia. Welcome to the world of developing dementia, which is none of us want to get dementia. No experience every day. So turn to the person next to you if they're female. 82% of you. And say, well, what are the risk factors? Because I'd like to know if I have them. Number one, and number two, is there anything I can do about it? Because look at the person next to you, because if you don't choose to do something about those risk factors, and you're not the one with dementia, who's going to be your partner when it's your turn? And this is what we've done from generation to generation to generation. We have continued in a pathway of thinking we can do it alone. Let me just hold the glass. I'll figure it out how bad. I mean, this gets really bad, and then I want to hand the glass to somebody. But there's nobody I really trust. And believe it or not, we might have developed some bad habits. I'm just saying. So turn back to your partner that you had. Now, some of you lost your partner.
My partner's gone.
That happens too. I mean, that's a really sad thing. That people think they can do this a really long time, and then something happens to them or in their life, and they aren't available.
I'm all by myself.
I am so sorry that happened to you. We don't have anybody in your world. Oh, look, here comes Shelly. All right, so look at each other. You've decided who has dementia, right? Okay, so now go ahead and look at them carefully and tell them that you're going to help them get their pants off. And just see what they say. Just tell them I'm going to help you get your underwear off. Oh, your underwear, not just your pants. We're going to take your underwear off. Now, how many of you are like, no, I don't think so? How many of you are like, why would somebody else take my underwear off? I'll take my own underwear off. Why are you asking me this? We're at a table. Who do you think you are? Okay, so this is the challenge in the world of dementia. It doesn't start that way. I mean, rarely do we start with worrying about getting someone's underwear off. But when we get on this journey called dementia, before you know it, there's a point at which you are trying to figure out how to get someone's underwear off so you can put some fresh on. I think it was them trying to figure it out. Yeah, the person up there who's trying to be helpful. He did. Wasn't even the nice woman who's been helping me. So here we go. It's time for you to do a little brain work. So dementia and Alzheimer's are two different words for the same condition. True, false, or I don't know. Talk to your friends, see what y'all come up with. What do you think? Okay, here's the news I want you to realize. I don't really care what your answer is right this minute, because here's what we do know. I want you to instead come up with what math symbol goes in the spaces where the red circles are. Plus, minus, equal, not equal, greater than, less than. What math symbol would you put between the words dementia, Alzheimer's, and memory problems? What are you going to put in?
Plus, equal.
Okay, don't tell me, tell your partner. I know what the answer is. Here we go. Okay, here's what we know that 90 to 95% of people think. Okay, this is the trick. It's a trick thing. 90 to 95% think this is the right answer. They're wrong. Having dementia is more than simply possibly having Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's is a form of dementia, but there are a whole bunch of over 120 different other kinds, forms, types of dementia. And even having Alzheimer's, it's not one type of Alzheimer's. There are over 7 we now know about. 7 different forms of Alzheimer's. And when you have Alzheimer's, people think you have memory problems, but it's way more than just having memory problems. So what we do know is that dementia is a great big umbrella term. It covers a whole bunch of conditions. What we know is under that umbrella, we have some categories of dementias. And it turns out that's sort of important to understand, because what's happening for somebody is dependent on where in their brain they're having failures, where in the brain the damage is, and where it's spreading to next. And if somebody has, for instance, somebody has, let's call it frontal temporal dementia. We want to know what's in the front of the brain, the frontal lobe, what's in the temporal lobe, so that if I saw those symptoms, I would know, they're having problems with frontal or temporal lobe function. And an example of the conditional connectivity phenomena of a contemporary issue is the elevation of it all. Yeah, it's just all of it with particulars on it. So that was called a fluidiphasia. It's within a category of primary progressive aphasia, which is part of a temporal lobe. But no, it could in not that, but that's called a non-fluidiphasia. So it's still in that group, but it's a different one where I know what I want to say. I know exactly what I want to tell you, but I can't find the next sound to put after the first sound, so that when I put the sounds together, they make words, and the words make sentences, and I can share my thoughts. But I still have them. I hate this, because in that moment I absolutely know what I've lost, which is my ability to communicate. And this is really hard if I've earned my whole living based on being a lawyer or a teacher or a doctor or somebody who's always used language to connect and communicate, and I don't know. I don't. So now turn to the person next to you. Let's say that this might be going on for someone. And one of you is going to say to the other, "Are you ready for a shower?" And the person goes, sure, the particulars are all logical. So what does that mean in terms of am I ready for a shower or not? We don't know. Because what we don't know is, did they get the data in, can they get the data out? And so that's just one particular part of the brain where we might see challenges. Vascular dementia, very different kind of dementia. Lewy body disease, thought to be very rare. Now we know over 30% of all dementias involve Lewy body. The thing about Lewy body is it may or may not start as a movement disorder with falls, unexplained falls, or it might start with visual hallucinations where I'm seeing things that are not there, animals, children, people, or maybe moving things. Things are doing weird stuff. Or it could be that I have delusional thinking about you and what you've been up to and I get sort of paranoid about it. Or any combination. I may have a tremor, I may not have a tremor, but those are all possibilities. Now, that leaves us over here with Alzheimer's disease, which everybody thinks they know, but in fact, it's different for different kinds of Alzheimer's. So for instance, if you have Down syndrome, you're born with Down syndrome, your risk of getting Alzheimer's is really, really high by mid-30s, 40s, 50s, early 60s. It's rare for people with Down syndrome to survive into the 60s without having full-out Alzheimer's disease. But they're also vulnerable to other kinds of dementia. And before, people didn't live that long with Down syndrome, so it wasn't an issue. Now it is. It is big time, so we're on the cutting edge of that. We have people who now in England have been doing research, and their research has turned to the person next to you and say, you know what you got? You're over 85 when you show first symptoms. Look at them and say, you're over 85 when you show your first symptoms. You're over 85.
We're showing that first symptoms.
More than likely,
He's a liar.
Here we go. I'm going to see if it comes up. More than likely, yes, no? Yeah, can you hear it okay? Okay, more than likely what you have is called LATE, late dementia, not Alzheimer's actually. It looks sort of like Alzheimer's, but it also has some frontal lobe component to it as well. And you didn't get it till real late in life after 80, 85, then it's turning out this kind of dementia, it's a genetic coded one, it starts at about 80, 85. And it's a very different dementia. And we just discovered it 3 years ago. But a lot of the research that was based on what we thought was Alzheimer's is actually a combination. They've got Alzheimer's or they have late, LATE. And it's an encephalopathy. It's killing the brain, but it's killing it differently with a different protein. Why is that important? No, because the symptom progression will be different. And then we have all these other guys over here, a whole bunch of ones. And bad news, you can have more than one. As a matter of fact, it's actually more common that you have more than one than you just have one. So now at your table, talk to the person next to you and say, so what kind of dementia do you have?
I do, because I
Are you ready for the bad news? Approximately 80% of you will never be evaluated well enough to know. 80% of people in America do not get a really thorough, good evaluation to let us know what part of your brain is working, what part has died, and where it's going next. So you're laughing. Do this with the dice. Roll the dice and see if you guess right. I mean, we don't know because we're not getting good workups. And why? Because we wait too long before we even bother to start asking the question, this is not normal aging. This cannot be normal. Something is going on here, and I think we should get it looked at early. When are we getting it looked at? When people are in the middle or even into a late state of dementia in over 80% of cases. We're not catching it early. What you're noticing is things are changing, but you commit yourselves to believing, well, she's just getting stubborn. He's just getting on her. He's in denial. He can't seem to see that he can't do things. He's not doing what he says he's doing. People are coming in and taking money. People are coming in and doing things they shouldn't be doing. People are losing resources because we've missed the early signals and signs. So we put together a laundry list of just some of the very common types of dementia and what some of the early signals and signs might be so that your brain and your support could be there. Because what we're trying to do, help you lift that glass. Because if you're trying to do this on your own and somebody says, well, I don't know, he's got dementia. Probably Alzheimer's. It's hard to say. But he's hallucinating. Yeah, we'll give him something for that. Well, whoa. Because if it isn't Alzheimer's, instead it's Lewy body. What does it say right here? Drug responses can be extreme and strange, particularly with antipsychotics. it can actually take somebody's swallowing mechanism out, their digestive system out, and can literally cause their death prematurely. Why? Because those folks, 50% of those folks cannot tolerate antipsychotics at all. And they've often been people who didn't do well with drugs before in their life. This isn't a new phenomenon. They've never been good at taking drugs. They've always had weird reactions to drugs. They've always been real sensitive. So talk to your partner and say, so are you sensitive to drugs at all or not? And then ask them, that's another one. Have you had issues with sleeping at night? Do you find yourself getting up a lot at night, even without dementia? Is this something that's been going on for a while? How about falls? You had some falls recently. So what's the problem here? We don't know this stuff when we're coming into it because nobody tells us to check this stuff out. What are we waiting for? Some magic magician who's going to let us know all the right
It's live
things.
on TikTok, so.
And so what do you find you're holding in your hand for way too long and not knowing?
147
How heavy these glasses get?
They just got to us now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's out there. Ooh. Now one of the cool things about What's Your Point is they talk about having fun. Right? So I'm curious how many people in this room recognize these words up here. I mean, most of you are going to be women. Men are going, I know. Older women particularly are good at this. Most of you. Oh, we got one guy over here. He even raised his hand. That's really impressive. How did you learn that song?
When I was a little girl from my section, no, that was.
But it might be. Who knows? I mean, I don't know your story. I'm willing to hear it.
I had a cousin that used to sing that all the time.
Okay. Cool. So here's how it goes. Now, I should probably just hand the microphone over to somebody else rather than do this, but I'll make a joyful noise. It's not skill, it's just joy.
Wing it.
Okay. Hey, 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 playmate, come out and play with me, and bring your dollies free. Climb up my apple tree, call down my rainbow, slide down my cellar door, and we'll be jolly friends forevermore. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now I'm gonna call somebody up. Oh, look at Sherry. Sherry volunteered. Sherry. I just was working with Sherry Fresh over at a program, so I'm like, yeah. It's been a long day.
She has dementia.
Now that's an assumption, not a necessity. So here's what we're gonna do. I know, who has dementia, did she say? It's not me.
I have.
Oh, okay, well that makes sense. All right, here we go. So we're gonna try something. I want you to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, I want all you guys to do it too. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, clap. You got it? 1, 2, 3, clap. Now you're gonna take your right hand. Everybody know your right hand? Yeah. And you're going to put it out against your partner's right hand and pat it. And then you're going to pull your hands back and you're going to clap again. Then you're going to take your left hand. And you're going to put it out their left hand and you're going to pat. And you're going to clap again. And now you're going to take both hands. And you're going to pat it. And you're going to clap. And then you're going to pat your guys one time. And then you're going to clap. And it's right hand, clap, left hand, clap. Both hands, clap and clap. Clap, right, clap, left, clap, both and clap.
I have to do
Now, how many of you are finding this challenging? How many of you are going, oh yeah, I remember this. So watch over here, watch these two guys over here. They have a whole different. Yeah, that they learned different ones, and now they're fighting that. Okay, so I'm going to have you do this again. 1, 2, 3. How many of you had an easy time with just the 1, 2, 3 attack?
That's
That's because this is a very bilateral, simple task. And when I went 1, 2, 3, temples, this part of your brain went, oh, I got it. It's a rhythm and it's counting and it's 1, 2, 3. I can get my hands to do what you said. Because you could watch me, listen to me, and you could copy me. So try again. 1, 2, 3, clap. See, that was pretty good too, huh? Because you took either side of your body and you duplicated it and brought them together. This is where it got tricky. I said, take your right hand. So now all of a sudden you had to know which side of your body was your right side. And I said, face it away from you. And push it out and hit the opposite. So I had to realize her right hand and my right hand were diagonal. I'm moving now on a diagonal. We clapped, and then we had to pull back and clap both hands. And now I've got to switch sides. I'm going to go across and go to the other side and clap, and then do this. And now it's 2. And together, and clap, and then what happens? Down. So you learn to sequence. You learn to sequence. And so I can do it 1, 2, 3, clap. Wow. Because I've done this 30 years in Girl Scouts. But if I go at this speed, brace yourself. And she's going to close her eyes.
Oh boy.
So I take away an ability that she takes for granted, like the ability to keep up with my hands, or you can look at the ceiling, if you like. Look up at the ceiling. So take your hands and do this. Dementia will rob you of the ability to see the world around you in its wholeness. And as the disease progresses, it will rob your occipital lobe of the ability to take in as much data. And so it goes from taking in this much data to this much data to this much data to this much data, eventually to this much data. And if I had wanted to use her hands, I could have her put her hands up here. And now, Shannon, I'm going to have you go, Can you see my hands? Can you see them at all? So my hands now become weapons rather than assistive devices. Because when I'm in front of Shannon and she's looking up, so you can get, okay, you're looking up? You ready? Yeah. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, clap, right, clap, left, clap, both, clap, down, clap, right, clap, left, both, and down. Both and down. Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Okay, so now.
Oh boy.
You're very rhythmic. Let's see what happens.
You're fired.
Tamara, let's see what happens with Tamara. Okay, look it up.
Here, camera.
Because everybody does this the same. Okay, you ready?
Oh no.
You're wrong. Because we do it my way, because I'm going to give you a shower, and I'm going to give you a shower the way I take a shower. It feels so much better when I'm done. No, you didn't. I don't want to clap or shower. She don't want to clap or shower. She's all of a sudden not one to do anything. It's called a refusal. She's very resistant to care. Is that what she is saying to me?
Yes.
No, what is she saying? I'm scared, nervous, and I don't think I'm going to be successful. So my choice would be, don't do it. Because I don't like feeling stupid. I don't like feeling vulnerable. I don't trust you. And how did I get her to feel that way? Because I'm really good at what I do, right? And your brain, and she just watched somebody do it really well.
She's my partner down there. Does that count for anything?
No, because she put you with me. Well, because you actually were not doing all that well. You were really slowing her down, and she had some other things she had to do. It's not that she doesn't care. She just ran out of energy trying to do this. Because she'd been holding the glass a long time, and it was starting to feel unsuccessful, that glass business. Because she was trying, and it just wasn't working very well. Is this true or not true? It's really true. Especially, put your hand up. Out of every 5 families who takes this on, Tuck your thumb in. 4 out of 5 families will fall apart before this is over. Do this, and there's only one person doing it all. There is one person trying to do it all out there by themselves with the glasses. They don't even know what's in it, but sure enough, it is heavy. And it's turning out that I look at you and I'm not even sure sometimes that you are the person that you used to be because it's so different than it used to be. And I'm really struggling with trying to be helpful to you. And if you would just try. And I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just overwhelmed by this and I don't know what else to do. And I was hoping she could do better, even though I know that something's going on with her brain. I got that part, but it's just really hard. So let me show you a couple things and don't wander off. What happened to the fun of this? Because ultimately, what were we going to do with that motor activity? We were going to sing the song while we did the motor activity. Because bathing fits into a day and there's a value and a purpose to it. And it's just bathing so I get it done so I can go do what I really want to go do, which is have fun, have purpose, have value, live my life. Bathing is just a piece to getting where I want to be, doing what I want to do. And when I notice she's not doing it anymore, it should cause me to look at the bigger picture and say, what else are we not doing that really used to be things we used to do? Because all of a sudden, guess what this becomes? The thing that I've got to get done, rather than the thing I do so we can go do the stuff that I really care about. How many of you think, go ahead and turn your partner up, but taking a shower with me helping you should be the highlight of your day? But I love you, dear. Look at your partner's body.
It would be the highlight of your day.
You'll be fine.
It'd be the highlight of my day.
I was going to say.
If you're realizing, wait, this doesn't make any sense. Nobody bathes me. I bathe myself. I've done that for since I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. No one has bathed me. I bathe myself. I wash myself. I clean myself. Now, when we do things together in the shower, there's a whole other thing going on there. When I change my clothes, I change my own clothes. And if I'm really sick or hurt, that's one thing. But I've got to know that I'm really sick or hurt. And I've got to get that in order to recognize I need help. And if I don't see that that's what's going on, it feels really wrong that you should think you should take over and do things. So turn to the person next to you and say, get your hands off me and leave me off me.
Nasty old man.
Dirty old man here, because I've done this for 42 years and I've seen this a whole lot. And of all the things we do, showering, it makes you the most vulnerable. And you've got to trust somebody the most to take all your clothes off and then get underwater in what is sort of a slippery, uncomfortable, auditory, intense environment. And let them touch you in all. It's okay. So we need some new strategies here. We need a bunch of new strategies. So we didn't really demonstrate how impaired you are. Did you want to try it on? I don't know. We didn't assess her. I assessed that Shannon is really quite good. Okay, so you're going to come over, get close. I'm not going to do anything but this thing. Okay, you ready?
I know. I felt the same way. I was wondering if my boobs were safe.
Well, I know. Well, that'll come later when I have enough. Now clapping sounds better to her because it keeps my hands out of situations where otherwise I might be doing things you find really uncomfortable. But if you're taking my clothes off, what was the other situation other than care that I said we might be in the shower together? Is it about taking a shower? No, it's about having fun. And it's about intimate fun that goes way beyond where people think we should be. Oh, guess what that means? No, you're not off the hook. It just means it's 6:30, we're halfway through a lot of things, but not everything. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Clap. Right, left, both, and down. Clap. Right, left, both, and down. Right, left, both, and down. Clap. Right, left, and both, and down.
Woo!
Okay, here we go. Hey, 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 play, hey.
Come out and play with me.
Let's try one more time. I think you can learn this, Tara.
I can do it.
Okay, you sure?
Yes.
Uh-huh. All right, here we go.
Hey, 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 play,
hey.
come out and...
Okay. Okay. Okay, now, I really want you to hear this. She really is trying as hard as she can. She's trying to get her brain, do this with your fingers, to let go of the wiring she already has in there. She has to let go of that wiring, and she has to form new synapses, do this, that are different than the ones she already had. It's really hard to let go of synapses once you've built them. It's even harder to let go of those synapses and make these be the primary ones that you don't have to think about when you're doing it. So I'm asking somebody who's bathed themselves forever to let go of those synapses and allow me to be the one to do things.
No.
Okay, turn to the person next to you and say, I think she needs medication. Okay, now why do I think that in this moment? Because she would never hit me. Where is this coming from? And so I think I need to sedate her so she would be less likely to hurt me, because what I'm trying to do is to help her. And the doctors will say, well, that's what I can give you. I can give you an anxiety med. I can give you an antidepressant, or I can give you an antipsychotic med. Now, is what she's doing psychotic?
No.
Is it delusional?
No.
Is it that if it came out of nowhere? No, did it come out of somewhere?
Yeah.
Where did it come out of?
You were trying to take my shirt off.
Well, then it changed in 3 weeks.
This is a good shirt.
No, this is not. Now, what do you notice we're doing at this point? It's called arguing. Why are we arguing? Because do this. I'm having a hard time letting go. I'm really having a hard time letting go of the idea that she doesn't get it, that she's had this shirt on for 2 weeks. And I want her to notice it. So go ahead and put your binoculars back on. Now ask her to look down and see the coffee stains at the top. Now go ahead and turn to your partner and say, oh shit. The problem is they can't see that.
Yes, she does.
I mean, she can't see it because her changes in her brain are making that impossible. She's not doing this on purpose. She's doing it because of what she has left versus what she's lost. Do this. And I'm having trouble letting go and understanding that she's lost some stuff. And I can't fix those things. I can use what she has left, but I can't make something that's not there work. So if she doesn't think that shirt is dirty, turn to the person next to you, decide who the boss is, who's the one that has dementia. I want you to shake your finger and say, why are you keeping that shirt on? Now, here's the thing. Do this with your hand and do this. Go. Rum, 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 rum. Go ahead and do that. Rum, rum, rum. Deep inside your cortical brain, you have a primitive brain. It's a very primitive brain, and its purpose is to keep you alive and keep you going. So one of the things it will do, wiggle your index fingers if you're holding your hands just like I am. It helps you learn and remember. Learn and remember. Learn and remember, because you don't want to repeat it. Learn that I'm mean, and remember that you can't trust me. Learn and remember, because you never thought I would do something like this to you. Learn and remember that room is not safe to go in. Learn and remember. Oh my God, this has happened to me before. When I was a kid, somebody did something to me against my will, and I couldn't do anything about it. Learn, and I remember, we're never doing this again. Okay, so it's called trauma. And one of the things we're learning about dementia is learn and remember. I learn and remember things that hurt, that cause pain, that are scary, things that terrify me, things that go bump in the night, things, places, people. I don't remember the details. I can't hold on to all the details, but I remember this doesn't feel okay. So when somebody smiles at me, so grin at your partner. Grin, me. I'm just going to take your shirt off. What happened to that sense of trust? You learn and remember that this is threatening. This doesn't feel safe. This doesn't feel okay. So no, I said no. If you keep going, I will learn and remember the only thing I can do is fight you. Because nobody comes, nobody helps me. So what I might learn, help me, dear God, help me, please don't do this, please don't do this. I'm just trying to take your shirt off. No, please don't. Or I might learn, you just close your eyes and try to get through it. Oh God, please don't do this, please don't. Because we don't know the stories that come before all the time. Because they're secrets. They're secrets. They're secrets that I kept because you don't say these things out loud. These are embarrassing, awful, humiliating things. So we keep all this stuff. But how many of you think you'd be embarrassed if you wet yourself? How many of you think you'd be embarrassed? How many of you think, I think I peed on myself. Could you come help me out here? How many of you think you'd be a little embarrassed that you might have wet yourself? So if somebody looks at your crotch, now look at your partner's crotch. You're good. Who noticed that you wet yourself? Your partner. They smell, they saw, and they said, oh, it looks like you've had an accident. Here, let me help you get cleaned up. Now, I'm trying to be helpful, but what happened to her brain when she saw me looking at this body part? So turn to the person next to you and say, I'll go later, I'm fine right now. I'm fine. And then we're really clever. We put on things that wick the moisture away, absorb the odor, and where do they get wet? They get wet on the outside, not on the inside. And it's warm. Guess when it gets cold? When you take it off. Because when I have that warm, moist, but it's all sucked away because we put an incontinence brief on me, I don't realize I'm wet. Who does?
Everybody else.
Everybody else. So now we're going to stand up. So one of you stand up, and the other one's going to look behind. Just let's stand up, and one of you take your hand and look behind. And then look at the front and say to them, I'm going to help you get checked.
Camera, just turn around. Now what I see.
Yeah, no, you're not. So we're laughing a little bit. Why do you think we're all laughing?
Because it's true.
Because it's embarrassing to be an adult, mature adult, and to have this happen because this is just not right. And so my brain says, well, it's not happening, actually. You're fine. Because I can't learn and remember about where to go, when to go, how to go. Those things are disappearing on me. But I really do not want to be embarrassed, and I don't want other people coming into my space and doing things. I don't want to go with somebody because, no, I know. No, thank you. Thank you so much, but no, I'm fine. Why? Because I still get that I should be polite until you won't listen. I still think it's going to be okay until you start doing that. And then my primitive brain sends out an emergency message that says, this is not safe. They're doing something that's not safe. So go ahead and grab your pants and hold on to them. That is one of the very common things people will do. So Tamara, you get to help me instead of the other way around.
Okay.
All of a sudden she's all, I feel comfortable with this one. Yeah, so she's going to help. Yeah.
Is it time to change your clothes? Here. Here's a shirt.
It's a shirt. I don't see anything.
Maybe that's because you have your binoculars.
So at first Tamara said, no, I'll take over, I'll do it for you. And then she started, and what happened?
Didn't know what to do.
Her brain said, oh crap, I'm not sure what to do. Now that I'm taking on the responsibility of helping another person, I don't actually know how she starts changing clothing. Because where do we do that? In private. Yeah, so with your partner, ask your partner, when you change your clothes, how do you do it? Ask them for some intimate information, because that's what you hope you know. So Tara takes her shirt off first, and she crosses her arms, and she takes it off like this. So everybody do this with your arms. So what that tells me is, wow, she's going to get into trouble when she no longer has bilateral integration and she's able to cross the midline easily to be able to do this. She's going to be trying to figure out how to get her arms out of this. And then if I try to help her, she's going to jerk away from me and pull frequently because she doesn't understand what I'm trying to do to help her, and she doesn't know how to help herself. Do this. But she thinks she does. She thinks she knows how to take her shirt off. The problem is she no longer knows how to take her shirt off because, put your hands here, because the sensory motor tracts of her brain are now dying due to her dementia. And her thinking part, which is the sequencing part, is already broken. It was broken earlier. And now, she doesn't understand the language I'm giving her to help her appreciate what I'm trying to do. And we've already established she's not seeing the world the way she saw it before. So turn to the person next to you and go, well, shit. And I'm saying that out loud because take your right hand and put it to your right temple. This, pick your right hand up and go, yes, is a preserved area of brain function. And it will be where every forbidden word you've ever learned lives. In almost every dimension, it's a preserved area of function. And so I know every forbidden word I've ever learned in my life. I hold on to them. So it'll be swear words, sex talk, racial, cultural slurs, ugly words. Shut up, you're an idiot, you fat pig. Who the hell are you? You're one of the stupidest damn people I've ever met. Do this thumbs up. I still have that. And where's that coming from? My primitive brain doesn't feel safe, and I'm pushing you away from me. I want you not to be here. I want you to leave me be. Am I doing it because I'm being mean? No. Do this. I am showing you what I still have to defend myself, and I am warning you that I do not feel safe. So as soon as I look down here, now all I have to do is look this time. And this is where we start these habits and we start building in the new knowledge, the new awareness, and that's the primitive brain. And I don't remember the details, but I know this isn't safe. So the other thing I'll do this. In addition to swear words, I keep all those, every forbidden word. I also keep chit-chat. So say the word okay. Okay. Say it, okay? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that'll be fine. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now, here, carer, whoever you are, you're the carer. Are you the carer? You know who you are? Okay? right, so I want you to mumble the words. And the reason I want you to mumble the words, take these three fingers, your thumb, your index, and your middle, and touch your left temple. Excuse me, your left. Yep, sorry. Now, many of you are copying my hand motion, and you're on the wrong side of your brain. This is your left. Vocabulary words, comprehension of speech, and the ability to produce speech. Vocabulary words, comprehension, and the ability to produce speech. One of the very first things I'll lose is the ability to pick up on consonants and put the consonants in the right place in a word. The consonants are very sharp, fast, hard sounds, and the vowels are slow and ungle, so I get down, I head of the sound, I then get the owl, I'm having a hard time hanging up all the consonants. So I can get your vowels, but I'm missing your consonants. I don't know where to put all the consonants. Unfortunately, consonants are the value of a word. So you live it sounds like you're mumbling. It sounds like you're mumbling. But you don't realize that's how it sounds. So that they I have not getting everything in that. What they are getting is okay.
Okay.
And when you say okay, what's the automatic back? When somebody goes, okay? Okay. Especially if you do, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to take your shirt off, okay? And the person goes, okay, and I think I got a verbal agreement. I think she agreed that it was okay for me to take the shirt off. Now I'm okay?
Okay.
You go? You go ahead?
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Now, here's what you're going to do differently. You're going to, hey, Hannah, I want you to take your pen and put it down. Put it down. There you go. Now, what was, talk with your partner. I want you to talk with your partner what was very different about what I just did. And there's multiple things. Multiple things. What were some of the things you noticed that were, I'll do it again. Let me do it again for you. Ooh, Hannah. Hannah, I want you to put your hand, put them down. I want you to, put them down. And I'm going to tell you there are 10 differences. Your job is to try to find the 10 differences. As opposed to, hey, I have your hand off, okay?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. It's okay.
Okay.
Let me do it. Okay, so. Not okay. Now, notice I'm calling her sweetheart.
Yeah, that's not great.
Is she my sweetheart right now? Does she like me right now? Is she feeling safe with me right now? So now I want you to try to come up with what were the 10 differences when I did it the way that we were shown. Talk to your partner. What did you notice?
What else?
Okay. How many of you got? You got the 10? Now, okay, very first thing. I said her name with a question mark and a positive. After that, Hannah. I have your guitar, okay? So I said, camera. And I paused. There's a rhythm to your name that is unlike any other name in the world. So when you hear your name, even late in dementia, your given name, not your last name, your given name, it calls to you. And that's coming from the primitive part of your brain. It says, oh, she's talking to me. And when I went, camera, it had a question mark at the end of it. She heard that I was going to ask her a question. And then
I felt like it was an old friend saying,
it was an old friend, Hannah.
I'm happy to see you.
She's happy to see me. That's a change. She's happy to see me. The other thing I did, I'm greater than arm's length away from her. Her primitive brain feels safer I'm not so close that I can put my hands on her. She knows that. She knows that. Especially with this binocular vision. If I'm here, her brain knows perfectly well. Is she a fighter or a flighter first?
Fighter.
No, she's actually a flighter. Because she'll do it. And then when I touch, that's when she will. So she's pretty quick then when she feels violated. And I'm going to use that word again. She felt violated. She felt like I cheated. Like I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing because I was just being friendly. Then all of a sudden, we got something else going on. So I went, Hannah, I want you. Now, what did I do? I want you. Who's going to be doing this? Her. Am I going to put my hands on her right now?
No.
No, I'm going to see if I can help her. Put your hand back here. Her visual cortex, her temporal lobes, and her fine motor and gross motor sensory system recognize what I'm going to ask her to do next. Because the first thing I did is got her to look at me and feel safer. I want you. Now, whose pants did I touch?
Yours.
Now, if she's that far away with her binoculars, what can she see me doing? She can see me, and she can see what I'm doing with my hands. Did you notice that I wasn't facing her?
Already.
So when we square our body up with another human being, we're saying, gunfight at the OK Corral. We're saying I have you trapped or I take up all your space and there's nowhere out for you. When I turn my body sideways, it allows her to see what I'm doing but not feel as threatened by what I'm doing. And I showed her both hands. And I said, and you're going to push them down. So turn to the person next to you and make a pull motion. Show me the motion pull. Show me pull. Pull, pull. Now pull your pants down. That word is illogical where we use it. It's an idiom. It makes sense. You pull your hands up, but you should push your pants down. And what I got rid of is the automatic movement that goes with pull. Because pull, you bring it to your core, you bring it to the middle, you bring it up, you bring it in, you bring it to this space. And instead, I want you to push. Push your pants down. Yeah. Now, when she did that, what did I do with my eyes? I looked away from her. Why? She needs privacy. And then I went, yeah, you got it. Turn to the person next to you and go, yeah, you got it. Yeah. Now, instead of, that was a good girl. I think you got it. You stuck that in on me. You thought I wasn't paying attention. Did she mock me? Was she being disrespectful?
Yeah.
Oh, who was disrespectful first?
You.
Well, I was just trying to reinforce the behavior.
She's not a kid.
I'm not a child. And so one of the things we have to watch ourselves, because when was the last time we had this responsibility of getting somebody's body clean, helping somebody take off their clothing? When you were working with children. So guess what your voice goes back to? Okay, we're going to take off your pants, okay? On 3. Mommy's going to count 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, no. Hang on, sweetheart. No. I want you to push them down. What are you doing? No. So turn to the person next to you and go, Guess what part of the brain you just woke up again and said that? I don't like you. Okay? So, how's it going so far out there? Amazing. Yeah, you learned something. Ooh. Camera. Hey. Oh. Now that was sort of different. happened that time? Talk to your partner. See what happened there. Ooh, Tamara, hey. Go ahead and shake hands with your partner. Shake hands automatically without thinking which hand came out. The right one. Did you have to cue them? Say, now use your right hand. We're shaking hands with the right hand. Can you use your right hand? Did you have to cue them up? No. Do this with your little finger. There's wiring over here from the right temporal lobe that hooks into automatic movement patterns that you don't have to think about. And so one of the movement patterns, do this with your hand. Come along. Come along is an automatic one. Do this. That's stand up. What about hey? It's automatic. I mean, it really was. So go ahead and go hey. If you don't like hey, say hi. If you like hello, I'm not arguing with what greet you do. Hey, offer your hand. Go ahead and offer it to your partner. Go ahead and offer. Okay, now, here's what I want you to realize. Try to stay there for very long. What are you noticing? You know, the longer they hold your hand. No, here to help you. No, wait, stay here. What's happening? You don't like it. Do this. Here's the reason why. This is the tool that you do everything with in the world for 90% of us. We're all right-handed. 90% of us are right-handed. When I tie my hand up with you, I can't do anything else but be with you. And frankly, that's annoying. So if you were going to eat something and we were holding right hands, then you'd have to use your left hand to get something to happen. If I hold on to your hand like this and then I'm trying to do things, it's uncomfortable. But now I'm going to give you something different. So shake hands with the person next to you. And now lock your thumbs, and instead I want you to form a platform. You're just a platform if you're the helper. And you should be on the right-hand side of the person so that you're not blocking them in. It would look real different if I was over here. You wouldn't want this so much. No. So if the person is right-handed, it becomes really important that I'm on the right-hand side holding the right hand, but I want to make sure that I don't have her hand trapped at all. She can let go, I can let go. Neither of us are trapped, and our fingers are free to move. Now, if I say, Tamara, I want you to hold right here. I have now hardwired our neurological systems together. I have tricked her brain into believing that we are one unit rather than two separate brains. Holding hands causes the human brain to develop a sense of we. You, me. It's only when we do this that we're we. And when we hold hands, we can hold hands this way. This is a friendship kind of thing. This is an intimate care kind of thing. Because I'm agreeing that my dominant hand and your dominant hand shall work together to complete something. And you always have the choice to say, no, thank you, I'm done. And I'll honor that, but I can all, got something right there. There you go. You got it. So if you have the guts to try this out with somebody you barely know, or maybe somebody you know really well, all of a sudden, though, you're giving the person permission to touch you. She is giving me permission. I'm giving cues right here. Got something right there. And now we're going to do right here. Up. Yeah, there you go. Good. Which is real different than here, let me get in. Because I took I and you and we made them we. With both of our agreement that we're going to do that. So what's really important that I know? She's right-handed or left-handed. I need to know about my partner. And if my partner is left-handed, I'm going to greet the way I always greet, but I'm going to go, and look at you. And I'm going to switch over and I'm going to be using my left hand with her left hand. Because what does she have a lifetime of use on?
Left.
Her left side is her skill side. The right is not. So guess who has to get more skillful with her left? Guess what my mother was? Left-handed. Guess what I am? Split. I'm a split dominant, so I don't follow any directions I give you to go anywhere. I don't know my left from my right, literally.
No.
These are both L's. I don't care what you tell me. It makes no difference. I can wear a watch wherever you want me to wear the watch. I still don't know my left from my right. I can bang on the side window or this side window or the thing, but that's how we make turns at our house.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda will tell you, I cannot tell you what it is I'm doing. And I'll say, turn left, and all of a sudden you're going this way, and I meant for you to go this way.
Mm-hmm.
No, left. And guess what they say to me? That is left. And it's like, no, it isn't. That's, oh, shit. It's true with the people who have those directions on the machines, too. I have to look at them. I can't listen to them. Because if I listen to them, I get all messed up. I absolutely have to be able to do that. It's so frustrating. It's all your fault. So we're over here. So with your partner, get in this position and show them that you want them to do something with their body. And then take their hand with you and see if you can get them to do it. Just see how it feels. Try to see if you can make a wheel. So guess what this means? You have a new tool in your tool chest. You have a couple of new tools because now I can hand you a washcloth. I can hand you a washcloth and say, I want you to wash right here. And I say, here you go. Because what I did is I hit the ignition switch and all of a sudden your brain went, oh, okay, I got it. So I could also go, ooh, step out. There you go. And now, you're going to clean right here. Okay, good job. Now, what I'm going to say is if I'm not willing to do this motion with my body, why should I expect her to be willing to let me touch her when she does that motion with her body? We have to get better at recognizing. Do this with your hands. Care means I give permission. Do this. On one side, there's neglect. On the other side, there's abuse. With permission is the only way care is truly given. Neglect, abuse, or do we really want to give care? And giving care is very different. Offering support and care is here in the middle. Neglect, abuse, or are we talking about getting permission so we can offer the care that somebody needs? And it means we have to figure out what are they able to do and what aren't they able to do. So I'm going to show you a couple pictures here because that's what I think is missing a lot. We don't stimulate our occipital lobes quite enough here. So what we know is that when we talk about dementia, at least 2 parts of your brain are actively dying. They're not sick, they're not dead, they're dying. So even if you've had a stroke, it's getting worse. We also know that one of them is going to be related to memory somehow. But then there's another part of the brain that's going to be involved. We also know that it's chronic and nobody can fix it right now. I mean, you can optimize what you can optimize, but we cannot fix broken brains, right, as of right now. We also know that it's progressive. It is going to get worse. It's going to progress. There's no way it doesn't. It does. How it progresses will vary by dementia a lot. And it also depends on what else is going on with someone. It's terminal. Eventually it's going to kill you, but it's not killing you right now. And if anybody in this room thinks you're living forever, we need to talk. Because that's not how this works. This is a shell you're given to live in for a while, and you house yourself, and you do as much as you can with it. At some point, it's done. We're done with this, and we move on. So here's some other truths about dementia. Things are not working the way they used to. My abilities are changing. That's true. I am changing. My abilities are changing. The second, This is a new normal. I can't go back. I can't go back. This is my new normal. Now, I'll have highs and I'll have lows, but this is my new normal. It's not going to stabilize. It's not. And yet, change can be dealt with support. You gotta believe it. And then, getting support that works is essential as things continue to change. So turn to the person next to you and say, dementia is not a health condition, it's a life condition. This isn't just a health condition, this is a life condition. It's changing whose life? Everybody's. It is changing everybody's life. My brain changes everybody's life. So we're going to have lots of changes. Changes in memory and thinking, understanding and speaking, impulsivity and initiation, abilities and processing, actions, reactions, and interactions. This is the front part of your brain. We have sliced it off, so put your hand here and go slice. Pull it forward and look inside your brain. You should see a whole bunch of white matter. That's called wiring. That's that really dense white area, all through there. The little bit on the outside, it looks brown. It's actually gray. It's called gray matter. Those are storage units and the wiring that gets things in and out. In the front of your brain, this executive control, the thinking center, impulse control. Being logical and reasonable. Making choices that are consistent with your life values. Starting, sequencing, completing, and moving on. Self-awareness. I need help or I'm gone. And then seeing other people's points of view. Okay, that's what's up there. Okay, you ready?
Wow.
Turn to the person next to you and go, whatever you want to say. Go ahead and say it, because I bet it came to mind real quick. This is all the wiring that's left. This little bit of wiring. These are great big holes inside my brain. You can see a little tiny hole. Those are called the ventricles. They're filled with fluid. That's what cleans my brain, cerebral spinal fluid. These ventricles are huge, and that's all the wiring I have going into the front of my brain. So what does it mean I'm having trouble with? Do you think?
Impulse control.
Impulse control? Being logical and reasonable? Making choices that are consistent with my values? Being able to start, sequence, complete, and move on? Self-awareness, I have limits in self-awareness a lot. And I can't see anybody else's point of view but my own. So turn to the person next to you and say, I'm sorry, I was trying to help. Say it. I'm sorry, I was trying to help. That becomes an incredibly, but look at the person, look at yourself and go, I'm sorry, I was trying to help. And you better sound like you mean it. Because what they have that's working is the rhythm section, not the word delivered. I'm fine. Trying to help.
Okay.
Yeah? This is hard. This is really hard. And I scared you. And I didn't mean to scare you. How important is it to be willing to say, I'm sorry, I was trying to help. Offer a hug if she's okay. Let her be the one to give it, because what did she just let me in? Her intimate space. She let me touch her again. I made us wee again. How cool is that? I got a wee. I got a wee. And then I said, I didn't mean to scare you. Because guess what I did? Without meaning, I terrified her. I scared her. I was trying to help, but I actually got her to a place where she felt terrified about what was happening. Because she couldn't get why I was doing what I was doing. What I was doing, it wasn't making any sense to her brain. Not because she's not trying, but why? Because her brain is done. And with many dementias, this part of the brain is the most vulnerable. This is the last part that children develop. Teenagers do not have a fully functional prefrontal cortex. Males are much slower to develop this prefrontal cortex. Females?
Amen.
Has to do with testosterone, we think. Males will not have a fully functional prefrontal, if ever, until their late 20s, mid 30s. Say it. Possibly not. Some people never can see other people's points of view. It's called emotional intelligence, and they don't have it.
Don't walk around too much, it sounds.
And some females are in the same boat. And it's not like it's unique to males, but testosterone and estrogen seem to really play into this a little bit. Now, let's take a look at, this is the front of your brain. And here we're looking at how well it's burning fuel and working. Red means a high level of burning fuel and working well. Yellow means fair by late dementia. Light blue means it's just enough fuel being burned that we know that part of your brain hasn't died. And it's working, it's just not able to do much without help. Over here, this is a normal 18-month-old child. They don't have much going on in the prefrontal cortex either. Turn to the person next to you and say, that's why they have parents. Because who's the prefrontal cortex for an 18-month-old child? Other people are, because they can't do that. They're learning to use the rest of their brain. They're just learning how to do that. So if we look at where their brain is burning hot by late dementia, what are we noticing about that? Put your hand back here. That little occipital area. The back of your brain, this is the back of your brain, used to be huge, sort of losing some. I still got it, but I don't have it like I had it. So they're going to misinterpret a lot of visual data. They won't be able to hold on to it, and it makes it awkward if I'm trying to do too much too fast. Over there, that's an 18-month-old child, also not real good at stuff. You ever been around an 18-month-old? Yeah. What's their language skill like?
No.
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 Yeah. We're going to do a bath now.
No.
Yeah, we are too.
No.
No.
What's the difference between an 18-month-old and a full-grown one like Tamara? Size. History. A life experience of doing this herself. Does an 18-month actually have any of that? No. So what do? You guide them and get them to learn how to do it. But now you guys are switching places. So now turn and look at the person and realize that's your parent. Put your hands on your parents and say, bullshit. I brought you in this world. I'll be happy to take you right out. How do you think you'd be real comfortable? How about if your spouse suddenly is going to clean you up from an incontinence episode? How many of you are thinking, whoa, no, I'll do it. Never mind, I got it. Is it because they're being ornery then? No, it's because they're in brain failure. Who's being ornery in fact? Smile. Look at the mirror and go, oh, that'd be me. Because I'm trying to get what I want, and yet I'm having a hard time recognizing they can't do what they used to be able to do, and I'm having a hard time learning new skills to figure out how to accomplish it. Because guess what? Who showed you this stuff? You don't get the manual when you get a diagnosis, if you even get a diagnosis. So that's the occipital lobe. Am I making this stuff up? Now, these are brain pictures. These are autopsy brains. People actually donated these brains. Down here at the front, this is the prefrontal cortex. That's the sensory motor strip across the middle there. That's a map of your body up there on your brain so you know what's going on in every part of your body and also how to move every part of your body. So, with visual field changes, I talked about 25-year-old can see just about everything all at once. That's why they keep shooting back and forth across the 5 friggin' lanes of traffic. I mean, like, what the heck? And they're going 80 miles an hour. And it's like, no, I was only going 78. By the time you're 75, you lose a little peripheral. And you're a little more nervous. And so, oh, geez, where did he come from? Oh my gosh, and I'm missing that little step off, or I'm missing that curve, or I'm missing some of the detail of things. And then with dementia, I've got tunnel vision. I miss things coming up from the side, from the back. So here's what we're going to do. Tamara's going to sit down because this is one of our really bad habits. Oh, actually, I'll put you on the couch. That'll be great. Oh, no, we won't. It's good. All right, let's not put you on the couch. Let's put you back on the chair. That was a bad surprise. That's lovely. early, but I don't want her on the couch. But what might she do every time she goes to sit down, even though she's not stable and the couch isn't very stable? She'll fall down, even though she's having a hard time learning that the couch isn't stable anymore. It's not a good height. It's not a good place for her to sit because she can't get back off of it easily.
Not that couch.
Yeah, so guess who needs to get rid of the couch? But it's my favorite couch. So maybe we need to turn it around. Okay, Tamara, put your tunnel on. Scuba, excuse me. Yeah, scuba tunnel. There you go. All right, here's what you're going to do. Hey. That's all I want you to do. I want you to come from behind. I want you to hold on to the chair and the person you're going to help. And I want you to lean in. I just want you to say, hey. That's all you're going to do. Try it and see what it feels like to have somebody go to the television. And frankly, most people are really surprised at how intense that reaction is. You're blown away at how much it bothers you for somebody to lean around like that. Okay, so this time, I'm going to be back here again, only you're going to drop your hands, and you don't have that. So put your hands down. And I do this, and your brain is not surprised. Because you actually saw me coming forward from here forward. Because when I was that close, your brain says, I better keep track of this. With the tunnel vision that you have, because of the reduced amount of brain tissue, I have to get all the way here. And for your brain, it said, I thought I knew when something was coming. Now what don't you do? Trust me. So here's what you're going to do instead. When I want to get her to pay attention, I'm going to walk past her. Then I'm going to turn. Tamara, hey. Now, what did she tell me she was more comfortable doing? Touching my hand. What did I give her a signal?
A hug.
A hug, what'd you tell me? Why?
Today?
Not
Too big, and she's had some things happen that she doesn't feel comfortable. And so she told me a handshake, and even though I'm her daughter and have been working with her for years, all of a sudden, what do I need to listen to? What do I have to let go of? I'm her daughter. I'm not her daughter right now. I'm somebody she doesn't quite trust for this care. I need to let go and quit making it personal and help appreciate her brain's dying. And I've got to try something different. Yeah. All right. Then we talked about the next one, binocular vision. Then it gets to where I can't quite figure out what it is you're showing me. So if you show me a washcloth and I hand it back to you, and you hand it to me and I give it back to you, and you hand me a brush and I hand it back to you, what does it tell you I'm not able to figure out? So I'll do something like, we're going to do this, okay? Here's the thought. I want you to do this. If I increase the odds, you'll know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Because I gave you visual information about how to use the object that you can't figure out. And so if I hand you a glass, okay, so I'll let you hand it to me. I'll be the person living with. You have to pay for any of the images.
Teepa.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Here, try this one. Huh?
Teepa.
Want some water? You want some water?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Teepa,
Yeah.
you want some water?
Some water. Yeah.
Have some water.
What do you do with it?
Woohoo!
Oh. Yeah.
Yay, Tamara!
Now, Tamara there was just a little nervous because I wasn't sure for a few minutes what to do, and then she gave me the motion with hand under hand. And when I got that motion, then my brain went, oh, I got it. It's water to drink. Oh, she wants me to drink it. Oh! Is it because I'm being being ornery and stubborn? No, it's because my brain is dying. So, and at the end, I have binocular vision because I have no depth perception. So close one eye, and put your hand around the other eye, and then have your partner bring their hand towards your face. Just have her bring it towards your face. They don't have to touch or anything, just have her bring it towards your face. Now imagine you have a toothbrush in your mouth. And have a walk off. Instead, we're going to do hand under hand. Use your left hand around your eye. And now I'm going to have you do right here. Do you actually need to see your hand coming? No, because what's coming to your own face? Your own hand. And so your brain recognizes, oh, a touch is about to happen. And it's a lot less frightening. So, you stand in front of somebody, they're sitting and you're standing. This is what they'll first encounter. Boobs. Boobs! Boobs and necklaces and things hanging off. And then they have to track it up and track it up and track. Oh, wow, you're really close. Instead, if I'm back a little further and turned a little to the side, it can make a difference. This, put your fingers to your temples, tip them up. And if you were to shove it in it, don't do that, but if you were to shove it in it, you'd be right outside shutting in. This is your hippocampus. Learning and memory. Learning and memory. Find your way, learn new things and hold on to them, and keep up with the passage of time. It's been about a minute, it's been about an hour, it's been about a day, a week, a month, 5 years, 25 years since. How long has it been since? This is what it should look like. That's what it looks like. I don't know how to get from one place to another. I don't realize where I'm going and where you want me to go. I don't know how to get places. Where do I go now? Where do I go now? What's next on the agenda? I'm not being ornery. I really don't know. And you say, well, we're going to go get something to eat. Okay. And I stand there. Because I don't understand all your words. And I say okay because I have social chit-chat. So when the big changes are happening, I can't find my way. I can't hold on to new stuff except for things that threaten me or give me great joy. Pleasure and discomfort and fear. Anger, those kind of things. You make me mad. I don't even remember why you made me mad, but I don't trust you anymore. What's that thing about showering and changing clothes and bathing and things like that? Yeah. So let's look at hearing. Whoa, that's weird. This is the one part of the brain that doesn't deteriorate in dementias. People don't lose their ability to hear because of dementia. If they have a hearing problem, you might have a hearing problem. It's not because your brain is damaged with dementia. As a matter of fact, you hear as well as you ever could, but you don't understand what you're hearing. So I'm getting overwhelmed. Shut up, get me out of here. I can't do this. Shut up. I'm getting overwhelmed because here's the thing that is different. Left temporal lobe, right temporal lobe. Left language, right rhythm. It used to look like that. That's all that's left. It used to look like this. I've got more of it left. Cool. What's it mean? I've lost vocabulary, comprehension, speech production. What am I keeping? Forbidden words and automatic phrases. Taking turns, chit-chatting or back and forth, which includes arguing. Haven't lost that. If I was good at it before, I'll be great now. No, you won't. Yes, I will. No, you won't. Yes, I will. No, you won't. You go to hell. Okay, well, we solved that. Rhythm and speech. They'll pick up on the rhythm of a question. They'll pick up on tone of voice. No, ma'am. They did that. Shelly. There's also the rhythmic automatics, which is music, poetry, prayer, and counting. Music, poetry, prayer, and counting, they're automatics. That's the gift. And then we have automatic action. Dancing. People moving with dementia, they dance better than they walk. The other thing they'll be really good at is rocking, clapping, all those things, except when we start making it complicated. So, we have gems. And we're not going to do this now because it's time for us to be just about finished. I've kept you over. I apologize. But I was trying to help us appreciate, if we saw people as precious and unique, with the right setting and the right care, they shine, we would quit seeing people as less. And we would know that they're as much as they ever were, but they're different. And we would recognize when people are sapphire state, they're true blue. When they're diamonds, they're clear, they're sharp, but they're rigid and inflexible, lots of facets. When they're in emerald state, they're flawed, but they're on the go, and they aren't even sure where or when. They get lost in their own lives and time. Amber, those are people who are all about the sensations. If they don't like the sensations, they're not going to do it. If they love the sensation, they want to repeat it. Ruby, strong without skill. I'm strong, but I don't have skill. But I can be really strong. So you saw Tamara a lot be really strong. What does she have a skill to do? Take me out. And then finally, trapped inside this shell we call a body is the pearl. Still in there, beautiful, layer by layer, but my life and my abilities are really, really different. Not because I'm not trying, but because my brain is dying. So, our time is up. With your partner and at your table for just a second, talk about what you're thinking and feeling about this thing we call care, now that we've addressed it a little bit. Talk about care for somebody living with dementia, just for a second. And for ourselves.
She's singing. Singing. I think she's singing. Is she singing? Are you doing a musical thing?
Doing my time.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go back real quick. I'm hoping, and I'm going to ask if you could maybe hold hands with your partner for a second. We went through a lot of stuff, didn't we? This was like sort of a garden hose, huh?
Yeah.
Or maybe a fire hose. I'm sorry. I was trying to help. Maybe it was too much.
It was good.
Maybe it was something that might be helpful.
Very.
So I want you to hold your partner's hand and I want you to say, hey, 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 playmate, come out and play with me, and bring your dollies free. Climb up my apple tree, fall down my rain barrel, slide down my cellar door, and we'll be jolly friends forevermore.
She could come out and play. It was a sunny day. With tearful eyes she breathed a sigh, and I could hear her say, I'm sorry, playmate, I cannot play with you. My dolly has the flu. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Ain't got no rain barrel, ain't got no cellar door. But we'll be jolly friends forevermore. It's not about what we lose, but what we keep. Thank you all. Thanks for so good. Thank you. Hi, I'm Teepa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching. And if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out. And you might want to visit our website, www.teepasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.